So hello and welcome back to another video. So just want to showcase a stamp lot that I actually purchased. Now I cannot remember how much I did buy them for, but this contains stamps pretty much from a large spectrum of the pre-decimal series. So we've got 1935, 57, got 54, 2 shillings, another 2 shillings from a royal visit. So this one is 1953 to 1966, so I'm not too sure what date that is. I think the royal visit was 54, so that might be that date. Then we have 1938, and we have 57, and most of these are, so this is 1932, I think this is the earliest. So most of these are pretty small value, so not really high. Usually the lower denominations, like the 4 pence, the 5 pence from, that's 1964, multicolored. Those ones are generally, 50 to $1 each. Here we have a 1935 Anzac. So this is pretty common. How many were printed? There were 48 million printed. So this one's a pretty high one. This one come with a greyish black 1 shilling that only had about 1 million printed, so it is more valuable. This one in this grade is probably worth about $1.50, although the damage up there takes away from it. And it's, a pretty common stamp that you can definitely get in uncirculated grade like I have here. And the other earlier stamp is the Sydney Harbour Bridge. So this is 1932 to celebrate the inauguration of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And this come in a red 2 pence, also a carmine red 2 pence coin, so there's 2 different varieties. This blue 4 pence stamp had a print of about 3.1 million. It's a pretty low, and they're 5 shillings, so the 5 shilling only had 72,000. That's one you need to get, and the colour is green. This one in this condition is worth about $5. Although it looks like it does have some discoloration up there, and it's probably been touched in the past. It hasn't been used. And this stamp here also has a value of $5. It looks like it might have been folded in the past, so that will take quite a big chunk out of the stamp. And this one celebrates 150 years of Tasmania, Hobart, and it's a single colour engraved stamp. Well, nice. So let's have a look at this one in 1954. Okay, so this stamp here, looks like it's been folded. It is from 1951, and it has George the 6th, 7.5 pence stamp, so that's the highest denomination of this issue, and it only has a value of about 50 cents, so not really a high valued stamp, and the value when it's used or unused is the same. So obviously quite a lot were not used. It has a print of about 8.7 million, so that stamp is quite a common stamp. Then we have Kookaburra, and that's a nice stamp. And we have a 1 and tuppence of the Tasmanian tiger or thylacine, which is an extinct animal now. Here we have Hermes. So this one I'm not too sure on the date. Then 1957. Okay, to go back to this stamp, this one only has a print of 3.2 million, so that's why it has a little bit of high price. It has a lower print. So looking at this stamp here, well, there is no figures on how many were printed, because since the 50s, Australia doesn't give out that information, or doesn't even keep it. But this one has a value, a catalogue value of about $14 in uncirculated condition, only about $1 in circulated condition, so not a lot of these 1 and 6 pence stamps were kept. And it's a blackish brown stamp, and these no longer have watermarks. But the stamp next to it, which celebrates 150 years of, 100 years of responsible government in South Australia. This one, Footprints, has a print of 31 million. It's quite a very common stamp. And it only has a value of about 50 cents in used or unused condition. But it has to be mint in used condition. If it's any lower than that, it pretty much has no value at all. So there's quite a nice series. While I haven't given values on all these stamps, they're just a nice spectrum of range. Overall, this is probably $40 or $50 worth of stamps just here. So just gives you a wide variety of Australian stamps at the time period. Now these ones I do like better, the single colour print. They're just a lot better than the multicoloured stamps. So these ones from the 60s, 70s and 80s, yeah, they just look like very childish, unimaginative multicoloured stamps. Anyway, thank you very much. I hope this helps you with your stamp collection, and just have an awesome time with your hobby.